Welcome to the Outdoors Dan Podcast.
This is funny. Yeah, it's the first time using this program, like I was saying. I don't know if you ever heard of it, Riverside, but
I've done one on it, and
yeah.
it was kind of tricky to get that one working too. And then once we did, it seemed to be okay. So
Okay. Well, I think we're good. I think what helps is, yeah, so my garage is a little bit further away from my house. So my internet was kind of spotty. I was taking a risk and it didn't work out, but
I mean, it looks great. It looks good there, so you're
it
good.
looks good now. Yeah, I know, eh? Nice little backdrop.
That's a nice
So,
background. Me, I just throw my hunting shit on the wall because I'm hunting to buy other decorations.
yep.
So like, it's multi-purpose.
Yeah, it's great. It works out. But let's get this thing rocking and rolling here. And yeah, thank you everybody for joining us for another podcast here, an Outdoor Dance podcast. Today we have a special guest, Amber. Welcome.
Hi
Thank you
guys.
very much.
Yeah.
And you're from Pnuma Outdoors.
I am. I am. Yeah, I'm the brand manager, so it's my job to make people want to buy our stuff and make sure that all my guys out in the field have what they need so they can create sweet content for us. So,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
it's pretty awesome.
So what is Pnuma Outdoors? What is that?
So, Pnuma Outdoors started in 2016, so we're coming up on our 10-year anniversary, which is pretty cool. It is a
Oh wow.
Texas-based company focusing on hunting apparel. So, yeah, we kind of started out, obviously being from Texas, started out more kind of Western driven, Western focus. And then as we've grown, we've built that assortment and really expanded more into the whitetail market. Added a second camo pattern the end of last season and a whole new whitetail line. So we really now have kind of the full blend of everything that you need from out west, big game, early season turkey, all the way into late season whitetail, super insulated when you're in some crazy temperatures, which comes really in handy for you where you're at because it's really cold up there.
It's extremely cold, so I'm excited to dabble into basically what I'm wearing for this season. And yeah, I used the what did I use this the Alpha Vertex jacket, and I used the Renegade hoodie and the pants for the my spring and bear, spring turkey and spring fall, or sorry, spring bear. Oh my gosh, it's a little early in the morning. I need some more. I need some more coffee, and then my brain will start working here. But yeah, the clothes I've worn so far. I mean, lightweight, breathable. I've never actually worn like lightweight camo before. Like it's always like stuff I use for fall because that's mainly what I wear when I hunt. So
Right.
then to actually have some lightweight things, not go to the stand and be sweating my balls off.
Yeah, it makes such a difference. And,
It's such a
being out there when it's warm, I don't know if the bugs are as bad as they are up there. I'm in Missouri. And the bugs here they are just awful. I mean, you will get eaten
oh
alive and carried away by mosquitoes if you go out before that first frost. So having some gear not only to protect you from them, but also like I like to spray myself down with permethrin just to make sure all the bugs stay off of me. Otherwise, I can't go out there.
oh I cannot
So yeah, for
imagine.
any kind of turkey hunting or preseason scouting, setting up cameras, like you got to go out there, and it can be
Yeah.
nasty. But having that wicking to get the sweat off of you and have that dry, like, makes such a huge difference.
Oh, it absolutely does. And so you live in Missouri.
Yes, yes,
Oh, I
I'm
thought you
in.
lived in Texas.
No, no. So our
Yeah.
company's in Texas. That's where our main headquarters is. But most of us are spread out. So I work from home. So I'm just south of Springfield, Missouri. Yeah, we're a small team, but we're all kind of spread out across the country, which is fun because we're in different places, hunting different things, different temperatures, different weather patterns coming through. We see different
Yeah.
things. So it's fun to kind of get that report of all across the country what everybody's seeing, and then when we do get together, it's a fun time. So.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. So what kind of hunts do you have lined up for this year?
Mainly whitetail. I'm probably heading out next weekend to go take care of some squirrels, just because that's fun and that's a
Ooh,
fun thing to do. Beginning of September is take down some tree rats, so that'll
yeah.
be kind of my first little fall hunt so far. I don't know if I'll get any dove in this year or not. I'm primarily a whitetail girl. I do like doing other things. Like I said, I do the squirrels. I like doing rabbit hunts. I like doing, fishing and whatnot in the summer. But when it comes to hunting, like I love me some whitetail. That's what we've got here in Missouri. And so
Yeah.
that's just what, gets me excited, gets me thinking. I mean, I think about whitetail all year round. It becomes an obsession for sure.
Yep. Oh
So,
yeah. And it's like every second I hear, like, so I basically hunt off my property, and it's just like I look out and I'm always thinking like, maybe I could scout over here, cut some trees down, make some lanes, and it's just like drives my wife crazy because she's like, we gotta do other stuff, and it's like I'll
nah,
be happy here in the backyard. I'll cut some trees, I'll set some stands. I got a whack load of trail cams basically everywhere,
right.
and it never gets old. It's super
Yeah,
fun.
that's the thing. There's always something to do. Like it may not be
Yeah,
season for most of the year, but there's always so much you can be doing to prepare
yeah.
for season, or thinking about deer, or watching their different patterns, or getting food plots in, or you know. I am constantly on Facebook Marketplace looking for sweet deals on stands and sticks and stuff. I'm like, oh, I guess I did another preset because it's only $25. Like I can justify
That's right.
it. So
That's right.
it never ends. There's always
It
something you
never
can do.
it never ends, and I think that's the joy of it, and that's why I love it, because it's, oh yeah, you're always busy, you're always doing something, and gets you outdoors, gets some
Yeah,
fresh air in the
yeah.
body, gets you moving. So
Absolutely. And, and for me in my role, obviously, main selling time of the year is fall. That's when we sell most of the camo. But the rest of the year, that's when we're doing product development and design and testing and, working with all the guys in the field to make a plan for content, who's going where and what hunts do we have. So it just fuels that addiction because it's every day. And every day I'm thinking about deer. But it is fun to be able to, kind of in the off season be playing, like, what would have been great? Like when I was sitting in the stand this season, I was freezing or I was uncomfortable, like what would make this even better? And it's fun to be able to have that immediate feedback to say, what we should make, or what we should do, or we could tweak to make a little bit better. And to be able to be a part of that and have a voice in that is really fun.
oh
So,
yeah, that
yeah.
that seems like a dream job almost,
It's pretty awesome. Can't lie.
Yeah,
It's pretty sweet.
yeah.
I get to, and with, working from home, as flexible as I am, I can take my computer on the road and travel and still work on the road when I go different places. So, that's been something that's been really fun for me the past couple of years, is the ability to, be able to travel and go different places and hunt with different
Mhm.
people and learn from them and take my work with me on the road and not feel like I have to, try to use PTO or work, or I'm missing stuff. It's just all kind of fits together.
Yeah.
I mean, I've taken phone calls in the field in camo. It just sometimes it just happens that way. We're like, well, I'll be out of the stand. I got a call at 10. That's fine. I'll be out of the
Yep.
stand by then. And I'm just like, what's up?
What's
So
up?
it's
Hold on,
it's
I gotta
really
put you
fun.
on hold. There's a big buck.
Yeah, hang on, guys. I gotta wait for him to go past. Then they'll turn me on speaker. But it's fun the way that the industry has changed now with remote work and things like that, to allow that, where we don't all have to be in an office 9 to 5 in the same location. You're able
Hmm.
to be a part of something from wherever you are, wherever you need to be, and we're always on the move and going different places.
Yeah.
And it's just been wonderful, and being able to be a part of the outdoor industry it's so rewarding. It's so much
Yeah.
fun.
Oh,
So
it sounds like a ball. I'm always looking to see if there are opportunities, to see if there's something like where I could help work, and kind of, because
right.
that's what my passion is, and if I could like do that full time, that'd be super cool to do. But
That's
also,
that's a very common theme that I hear, and everyone's like, "Oh, you got the dream job." I'm like, "No, I'm still paying other people to hunt. I haven't got to the point where people are paying me to hunt yet. Like,
yeah,
we're still
right.
working on that, but
Working on that part. Yeah. Hey,
we're not
eventually,
there
you
yet."
never know. So how long have you been a part of Numa? I don't know
Just
if you
over a
mentioned that.
year now, about a
Yeah.
year and a half actually, that I've been with Numa. And I was actually wearing Numa before I came to the brand. Before this, I was on the Hunt Apparel merchant team for the Bass Pro and Cabela's corporate office. So
Oh wow.
that's where I kind of got into Hunt Apparel and design, development, assortments, working with all the other national brands that we assorted to the stores. So that's how I kind of got my foot into door into the industry and hunt apparel in particular. And despite having access to all of this wonderful, stuff that we were developing in-house, and then other, national brands that I worked with, that I made connections with, I got some Numa gear one season, and I just absolutely fell in love with it. I mean, it fit so well. It was so comfortable. All these little features just add
Hmm.
up to making a huge difference when you're in a tree, especially as a bow hunter, as a saddle hunter, as a very small, petite person. Like a lot of the gear out there is very big and it's very
Yeah,
bulky, or it's
bulky.
shaped really
Yep.
funky, and especially coming from a woman. Um, so to find something that just fit and it worked, and I didn't have to like make modifications to it to work for me for what I was trying was just such a relief. And I know you had mentioned the Alpha Vertex, and this was the first jacket that I got, and it is still to my day my favorite one.
Go-to.
And here it is, and it's wonderful because I mean, again, I'm a girl, I get cold, and this is like it's like a fluffy teddy bear on the inside. It is so comfortable.
Yeah.
And I just absolutely love it. And the pants, the zip goes all the way up to the top of the thigh. So whether you want to just throw that on after you get to the stand, you can throw your whole boots through that thing. I mean, they completely unzip.
Oh yeah.
So it's so versatile to be able to take anywhere. And like you said, you were wearing it in spring for turkey and bear. Like it's just enough warmth where you're not feeling too heavy, and it's not a big bulky insulated jacket. It gives you that little bit of warmth. I never go anywhere without it. It's absolutely my favorite suit. So the
I
Alpha
was
is great.
I was really surprised on how much it packed it down. So like
Yeah.
in the morning, like in spring, so there's like April 25th is the opener here in Ontario, and there's still snow. Like there's still like
Great.
it's pretty chilly. So in those mornings, it's cool. So yeah, I just threw that jacket on, and it was like it didn't even feel like I was wearing what I was wearing in a way, if that makes sense. Like it
Great.
was
Yeah.
just like, oh wow, like I don't know, it got a little bit more insulated, warm, not heavy, not bulky. Was still able to move around. The one thing I
Hmm.
really like is that collar, around the
Yes.
sleeve. It's like
Yes. It's
tapered
got
down.
the little crescent right here, and
Yeah.
then like the tapered sleeves. Yeah. So it doesn't
Oh, it's
nothing gets in your
really,
way. It's
yeah,
great.
really well thought out on not just being practical to be warm, but it's also practical to get the job done when you're shooting
Right.
something. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. So that was kind of my introduction to Pnuma as a brand, and I wore it all season, and I just absolutely love it. And I just kept getting more of it. And the other thing that really got me hooked is our heated core base layers. And
Mm,
if you don't have those yet, get some. Um, they are. I mean, there's heated gear out there. There's a lot of heated jackets. There's a lot of heated vests on the market. There is nothing as good as a heated base layer because that puts that heat right against your skin, right on your body where you need it. And then it doesn't matter what other layers you have on top. But
yeah.
having that compared to having to hike in a big poofy jacket or bibs or something like that and be able to just have this base layer on. And then if you
Yeah.
sit there and you've been sitting there for 6 hours and all of a sudden you're getting cold, all you gotta do is hit a button. And then you get warm. Like you're
And then you
not
get
messing
warm.
with like putting the jacket on under your harness or anything
Yeah.
like that, or getting it out of your pack. Like no, you just boop, you hit a button, and it's got 3 different temperature settings. So like depending on how hot or cold you get, you can adjust that. It is, I half the time I go out and I wear it, I don't even turn it on. But I never
Yeah.
go out without it because I just know, I just feel better that I know that it's there if I need it, and I don't
Yeah.
have to carry in a bunch of other stuff. So yeah, the heated core base layers, Alpha Vertex, that is what absolutely got me hooked on Pnuma. And so after hunting in that for a season, I was like, I'm kind of tired of this big corporate craziness that is Bass Pro and Cabela's. Like, don't get me wrong, it was fun. But after a
Yeah.
few years of that, you're like, okay, like I'm done with this. And so luckily I had a contact at Pnuma from when we met and got the apparel. And I was like, man, if something opens up, like I will jump ship so fast. Like this is where I
Yeah.
want to be. I want to be a part of a brand that I feel like I can actually, have some say in and be a part of and really help promote. And it just worked out. That position came
Yeah.
available, and I applied, and now here I am, and I absolutely love it. So
Oh, that's
it was
great.
it was great. It was great.
Yeah, it's super cool. And I got I forget about who I found out about it first. It was probably one of the Ontario boys,
It's
like
probably
CJ
Josh.
or Josh, yeah. And I was like, oh, what's this? Like, where you got like? Because I'm always just looking around, Brad, like everyone is, looking at different
Yeah.
technology, clothing. And then I was checking you guys. I was like, oh, damn, this looks pretty slick stuff. And then he like reading about it, and I wanted to know more about that, about those was like the heated pants and the
Uh
heated
huh.
uh pants and jacket,
Yeah.
or my god,
There's
shirt.
a vest and a long sleeve
Yeah.
shirt, and then the pants, but they're all like compression type thermals. Yeah.
Yeah, so I want to learn more about that because I was just talking with my buddy on the first podcast about, because we have a different, like, I don't know, we're always changing up styles of hunting. Mainly we're going and we're sitting and we're hunkering down. And then I was just like curious on like the weight of it too. Like it's not that, those things aren't that heavy, right?
No, they're not heavy at all, and that's why it's so great. It's so much lighter than having to carry in like a thick insulated jacket or something like that.
Right.
Not only is it not bulky, which again, bow hunter, saddle hunter, I don't have to have bulky stuff in the way or trying to mess with it over my saddle. It's just a lightweight base layer, but it has carbon fiber heating elements in there, so it's not copper wire, which again, some of like the old school heating were copper wire, and you have to worry about that, like getting brittle or breaking. These don't. Rechargeable lithium-ion batteries. So I always just take extras. They'll last you on the low setting, which is 100 degrees Fahrenheit, which is pretty toasty on itself.
Yeah.
That's the low setting. They'll last you on low for a good 6 hours on a battery.
Wow.
So
Wow.
just think about that. And it goes, the high temperature is 130. That is insane. I have
Oh
never
my
turned
gosh.
mine to high. Like,
Oh my
it's
God.
just too hot.
Yeah, I'll just be sitting just with that on.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
You
even need
just
to
there
check.
with just your base layers, and just like, there you go. It's like, totally easy.
Yeah.
But no, they're super lightweight. They're super stretchy and comfortable. But they're also treated with Polygene, which all of our Pnuma gear is treated with Polygene, and I like to make sure that people know this because obviously, specifically when it comes to whitetail, scent is one of the biggest things that you have to pay attention to. So all of our products are treated with Polygene Stay Fresh and Polygene Odor Crunch. So there's two different technologies that work here. Basically what they do is they trap existing odors that are coming from your body through silica, and it eliminates them that way. And then it also uses silver ion to basically kill and destroy any bacteria that are causing odors on the products. So whether your body's producing odor or there's environmental odors coming in contact with it, it's got two different ways to capture and eliminate that odor. And especially when it comes to a base layer that you're wearing directly against your skin as you're moving or you get hot, you're gonna sweat. Like, it just happens. These have wicking in them. They have hydrowick fibers in the base layers to make sure that moisture is pulled away from your body. And then using those Polygene technologies, it will actually eliminate that odor. So I wear them, no joke, probably for 4 months straight. Wow. During hunting season. I maybe wash them 2 or 3 times a season.
Really?
I know it sounds gross.
That's no, like I would rather that. Yeah.
But it is amazing how well the Polygene works, and we have it treated on our merino-based layers as well. So like the non-heated, you just want to do merino, which works really great for guys that are out west doing elk hunts and things like that. And they'll say the same thing. They can wear that for a 7-day elk hunt, and they don't stink. Like, it is amazing how well this Polygene works. So huge help when it comes to whitetail in general, but especially when you're talking about those base layers. Obviously, anything that's got a heating element in it, you want to electronics and water don't go the best together. They are washable. No. You want to wash them by hand, but still, the longer you can go without having to mess with them as much, the longer use you're going to get out of electronics. That's just how it is. I'm not talking about just ours. That's just electronics in general. So by having that Polygene in there, it totally extends the life on these, and you're not having to worry about it. I just take them off and I throw them back in my hunting bag, and I don't think about it till the next time I go out, and I pull them out and put them back on. Like, it's fantastic.
That's amazing. And they're on sale right now.
They are. They're on sale. Yeah. So I know this podcast is coming out here soon. So when this comes out, people are going to have a short deadline here. We've had them on sale through the summer because nobody's thinking about heated apparel in the summertime, but they are 50% off right now through the 5th, September 5th. So if you guys are seeing this, go and get them right now while they're on sale, because it's a screaming deal, and that you won't regret it. I promise you. Like, they are amazing. Yeah,
I know I will. I'll be getting them for sure, because I'm sick of wearing basically I call myself the Michelin man when I go out. It's just bulky, and we are like in Northern Ontario specifically. Like, I live 3 hours north of Toronto, and it's crazy. Like, we can go anywhere. I mean, once the late season starts, it could be -5 to -20. Like, there's some cold days, And so you have to like bulk up. You gotta, but you
Hmm.
also you're walking, so like you mentioned, you're sweating and all this stuff because you're wearing so much gear, or you're taking that gear off. It's heavy carrying it
Yeah.
in. Like it's just like a lose lose. And then all of a sudden you get to your tree stand. You got to bulk up, climb up this skinny ladder, sit there, and then shiver for a
Yeah.
long time, which is it's part of it. It's all the thing. And then all of a sudden you have a deer come by and you got to
Mhm.
pull back and you're shaking.
And you
You
can't,
and
yeah.
you have to
Yeah.
maneuver around all this clothing, and it's just such a freaking pain. So
Yeah.
like I'd be wearing, sometimes I wore two bibs going out, and just because I'm just trying to get extra warmth and longevity out of my sits,
Hmm.
and it's just like it's just
Yeah.
not really working. Like you get by, you kind of I have a bunch of different pieces from Under Armour, Sitka. The individual pieces are fine, but it's
Right.
like yeah, it's not working right now.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely had that where I was, it was an evening hunt. I had been out for hours. I was getting cold. I guess this was probably late November, a couple years ago, and I was in the saddle, and it was like last light was coming. Like it was all right. Like this, something's either gonna happen or it's not. We're almost done here. And
Yeah.
like I said, this was late November. Rut was kind of still tapering off, but they were still doing crazy dumb rut things. Like not where you expect them to come. Sure enough, this buck comes from the opposite direction. He's coming downwind of me. He doesn't care. He's hot on a doe. He does not care about anything else that's going on. So he starts whipping around over here, and I have to reposition in my saddle because he's supposed to come down here, but he decided to come over here. So I have to like reposition around this tree, and I'm at a funky angle, and I try to pull back, and I can't. I can't pull my damn bow back, and it was heartbreaking because he's right
Oh
there,
no.
and I
Yeah.
can't pull my bow back, and man, that messed me up because I couldn't even take the shot. And I think that's happened to all of us, whether it's just adrenaline in the moment, or your muscles get cold or tired because you've been out there for so long, or you've been shivering, it makes them tight, and then they don't want to open up and expand. For me, part of it was just being at a funky angle, having to turn,
Hmm.
and just not at not in the best position there. But I mean, after that, I made it a point that having that heated vest on, like I said, even if I wasn't necessarily cold, sometimes I would turn that on just because it would get the heat. The heating panels are up in the upper chest here on the front of it. And it's like, okay, warm up in the middle of my
Yeah.
back just to like kind of do some stretches a little bit. Because
Yeah, loosen up a
you get
bit.
hunkered like this for so long. And it's like, no, you
Yeah.
gotta like get yourself ready so if something comes you can actually do something about it. Because oh man, once you get in that position where everything lines up and then you just can't pull your bow back, oh, it's heartbreaking.
Oh, it's
So
terrible, and it's always gonna happen when you least expect it. When you're just sitting there,
yeah.
and you've been sitting there for hours, and then something comes up, and you're like, oh shit, and it's like you're trying to like break
Yeah.
out of your
Right.
like huddle position. It's
Exactly. So
bad.
sometimes I
Yeah.
have to like mentally tell them like, okay, like stretch, move, like move your shoulders, reposition yourself, like, loosen up a bit because yeah, if you get too cozy sitting there all scrunched up and then you can't do anything when the time comes, you're like, well then why am I even here? Like what's the
Yeah. I
point?
know, and
Why am I sitting in a tree?
that's a great point. It's like you're spending all this time being there. Like you gotta, when that moment comes, which lasts, I don't know, less than a minute probably.
Right.
Like you gotta make that count, and that's where, yeah, I can't wait to get into some new stuff, some proper things, and then actually like, yeah, not be a Michelin man
Right.
going out there, and using that heat core. Oh my god, I can't wait
Oh,
for that.
it's
It's just
it's
like, boop.
fantastic. So yeah, if
Yeah.
anybody doesn't have that, go get it. Like for reals, it's amazing. Get yourself an extra power pack so you have an extra battery to swap in and out. That just makes it nice, especially if you're doing like an all day sit or really cold
Hmm.
temperatures where you're maybe gonna want it on that medium heat. That medium heat you're gonna get 3 to 4 hours out of that battery. So if you're doing a long sit in really cold temperatures, just throw an extra battery in your pack, and then if you run out, all you gotta do is swap it out. Like
Yeah.
so easy, but worth it. So yeah,
I'll
that's
go
kind
check
of my
that
pro
out.
tip when it comes to the heated core, to get that for sure. And I know you talked about having, now's the time to figure out what your assortment's going to be. What are you hunting this year? Where are you going? What are your temperatures? What do you need? Look at your closet. Look at your assortment. What are those holes that you suffered through last season that you don't want to suffer through this season? Are there gaps? Are you missing the mid layer? Do you not have a nice base layer? Do you not have a waterproof outer layer and you got soaked one day? Like there are things that come up in the field that, one jacket and pant aren't gonna do everything for you. But something that we're doing for the first time right now with Pnuma is we're doing a trade-up event where it's like, well, I'm sure we've all gotten this, where we all have a ton of gear, and how do you justify wanting new gear? Because we always want new gear, right? So what we're doing at Pnuma right now is, if you've got some old camo and you want some new stuff, well, all right, we'll clean out your closet for you. You send us your old stuff. We'll give you a 40% off coupon so you can come buy new stuff and get yourself set up for the season.
Yeah.
You know, we wanted to give people that opportunity to be like, well, if you've been looking at something or thinking about it, or like, you know, we don't want everyone to have to wait till everything goes on sale Black Friday. Like, half the season's over by then.
Yeah,
you know, we
exactly.
make sure people are preparing for the season and getting what they need right now. So now's the time. Pnuma trade up event. Go clear out your old camo totes or your closet or whatever it is. Send it to us, and then come buy some new gear, and you won't regret it because it's awesome.
So do they have to have, like, does someone just send one jacket or something, and that'll get you 40% off of any order from Pnuma?
It's 40% off your whole purchase.
Wow.
It's not a one for one. It's not a one jacket, you get a jacket. No, you send us a piece of camo, we'll send you a coupon.
Unbelievable. Yeah, like what a deal. I've never heard about that. Like, that is a great way for people, like you just said, getting ready for the season too. Not just buy a little, like, one thing here, just you know, if you're missing something, now's the time. Get it before it's even too late and you're just like, I'll just wait till next year. And then you forget about it, and then you're back in the same spot.
For as many years as I've worked in the hunt apparel industry now, one thing is tragically clear, and that we hunters are the worst procrastinators when it comes to the clothing. Like, we'll go out and we'll buy stands and we'll buy trail cans and we'll do all food plot stuff. Like, we'll do everything. And then it's like, oh shit, I'm hunting tomorrow morning and it's going to be cold and I don't have a jacket. Let me run out to the store real quick and see what's on the rack. Like, it is horrible how procrastinated we are as a group. For someone that plans and preps all year to get a deer, we wait till the last minute to figure out what the heck we're gonna wear. So trying to combat that and be like, guys, think about this now. You know, one of the other things we do with Pnuma that we've been trying to push in the off season is, you know, don't wait until the night before you go out to check your gear to see, like, oh, that's right, I ripped this thing last year and I threw it in my bag because I didn't want to deal with it, or I didn't wash this, or this, I got, you know, this is too small now and it doesn't fit. Like, take the time before season to look through your gear. And Pnuma, we offer a lifetime warranty on our product. So if you do have something that, you know, the zipper snapped or button snapped off, whatever, we will repair or replace that for you. Like, we want to make sure that the gear that you buy from us is going to last you the life of the garment. So, but that's another thing. People wait till season starts and then they want to send something in for a warranty or repair. And we're like, you're not going to get this back overnight, guys. Like, it's going to take a little time. So just like when you got to go tune up your bow, get new arrows, stuff like that, don't wait till the weekend before you're going hunting. Like, do a little prep work, guys. Come on.
Think about it.
Put yourself up for success here.
Exactly. Yeah. And that, I mean, it's a great way. It's a good marketing move. It's a good program to even have, just to, like, get in a good, come on guys, let's go. Get in gear, good gear, get rid of your old stuff or whatever, or just like one thing that you haven't thought about. So, and 40%, like, it's not just like, that's a good amount. Like, that's a lot of,
you know, I mean, our Black Friday sale that we do, you know, on site is 30%. So you're already going to be beating Black Friday prices, guys. Like, and you can get it before season and not deal with all the craziness and all that. So it really is just a phenomenal opportunity, you know. And we offer, you know, I think most people in the industry are familiar that there are, you know, different programs that brands offer. And so we do offer a, you know, military and veteran discount. That's all through GovX, which is a pretty common platform out there. And so that's a 40% discount for military members, veterans, first responders, things like that. We do offer a guide and outfitter program. So for professionals that, you know, they make their paycheck out in the woods, guiding people and hunting and outfitting, things like that, we offer a 60% discount with that. And that's all verified through their, you know, their guide ID or their outfitter ID. So it's all, you know, verified program, but we do offer that as well. Because again, these are guys that is what they do for a living. So like, they go through a lot of gear and they're tough on it, and we want them to have the right gear out there. And then we get that feedback from them, which just enables us to continue with the development product, with people that are absolutely abusing these products, which is what we want to see.
Yeah.
And then we have an industry professional program as well. And so that's for other people that work in the outdoor industry, whether that's for, other brands and bow brands, saddles, whatever, other people that are out there, conservation agents, even retail employees. If you work at a bow shop or something like that, like we want to support other partners in the outdoor industry. And so we have those programs in place. They're all available. So you can see the information and apply for them at PnumaOutdoors.com. You'll see all the different, partner pages down at the bottom in the footer, so you can check those out. But this trade-up event was like, well, we want everyone to have that opportunity, like just because you to your point, maybe we all want to work in the outdoor industry, but it's not always that simple. So if you don't, or you haven't yet, we still want to give everybody that opportunity to gear up for this season. So that's why we're doing the event.
Oh, it's so cool. I'm excited to hear how it turns out. I hope a lot of people, take advantage of it. And like you said, like it's the one thing that we don't think about until we're in the stand for 3-4 hours being like, shit, I wish I had a better jacket or a better, whatever the case may be. You're like, God damn it. And then it's too late. Then you're like, wait till next year. So I hope a lot of people take advantage of it. And if you're listening out there, now's the time. Go over Pnuma Outdoors and get some good gear.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Heck yeah. One thing, within our discussion, I wanted to like basically have you quote unquote dress me in a way. so I always, cause like, I don't know, not always, but like you buy some pieces here and there as you're like getting going, and then someone has a deal or someone this, whatever. And then I don't know. And then time goes on, technology changes. So you get other mismatched pieces and you're always going through whatever prices, and you're going through different throughout the years and stuff. So one thing I basically want to know, if I was to hunt in like I mentioned earlier, so what would that be in Fahrenheit? 32 degrees Fahrenheit to -4, pretty chilly. What do you think for like a 6-hour to a long day sit? What do you think is like the ideal setup?
Okay, well, you got to start with the heated core base layers. You just have to. That's going to be your best base layer. I mean, don't get me wrong. The merino base layers are fantastic. Merino has natural thermoregulating properties on its own. But to me, those are more, if you are doing more of a stock or spot and stock type hunt where you're actively moving, they'll help regulate that temperature as it's changing. If you're doing a long sit in cold weather, your body's not producing a lot of heat. So, and that's something I think people don't realize. You can have the bulkiest insulative suit in the world. If your body is not generating heat, there's nothing to insulate. So, we can run into that. To your point, you'll end up being a Michelin man and you're still cold and you're still shivering. And it's because your body isn't putting any heat out. So by having that heated base layer, not only is it going straight to your core and warming you up, that warms up your blood, which circulates through your whole body, keeps you warm. But also now you put layers over top of that and it's insulating that heat that the base layer is creating instead of your body having to create. So your body isn't having to shiver or expend a lot of energy or a lot of calories to keep you warm, but it makes all your other layers more efficient too. So heated core base layer, you got to start with that.
So basically, I'm going to have that heated core on first as like a base layer, and then what do you think? What do you advise
What I typically put on over top of my heated core base layer is the Gunnison hoodie, and this is a 300 GSM merino wool hoodie.
Ooh, wow.
So as I kind of mentioned earlier, merino wool, natural thermoregulating, which basically means if you're hot, it'll keep you cool. If you're cold, it'll keep you warm. It's pretty remarkable, and it all has to do with the actual fibers of the merino wool themselves. And again, this is treated with the polygene odor control that we talked about earlier. So this will not only keep that warmth directly against you, even if you don't have your base layers turned on, it's still going to trap that body weight or that body heat against you, and just kind of create an additional layer. Because I think originally back in the day, the concept was, you need a big heavy jacket to stay warm because that's what keeps you warm is the weight of the jacket. And that's not what keeps you warm. It's trapping layers of air is what keeps you warm. So you can actually keep yourself a lot warmer with a couple smaller layers than you can with just one big heavy jacket. And that's kind of how the hunting industry has progressed over the years of doing more of these layering systems rather than just, here's my giant zip up coverall that, Michelin man, like it doesn't actually work. Because
Yeah.
air can still get out and you just have that one layer. So having multiple kind of smaller layers actually keeps you warmer, gives you the option of taking those layers on and off, kind of depending on if you're being active or not, or changing temperatures from long day sits, whatever. But merino wool hoodie, it's a fantastic weight. It's still super small. I mean, this doesn't take up any space, but you get a lot of heat from this. So this is one that kind of never leaves my pack. And then I know we talked about it earlier, but I love me my Alpha Vertex. It's great because it is meant to be a mid layer. This is not, it's not big, it's not puffy. It may look like a puffy because it's got kind of these quilting stitches on it, but there's no insulation in this. The warmth is all derived really from this high pile fleece, which again, this traps air. That's really what insulation does too. It creates a layer of trapped air within the garment. So this, without using insulation, keeps it super compact and easy to layer over top of, but it's this actual fleece on the inside that traps the air directly against your skin and to your body. But this is thin enough that I can wear additional layers over top of it, kind of depending on what that temperature range is. So if it's, not super cold yet, I know what you're talking about, but if we're more on that 32 kind of range at the top end of the spectrum, if I need an additional outer layer, I'll go with our Waypoint jacket. This is a very durable soft shell outer layer, but it does also have ventilation zippers here that can pass through to get to interior chest pockets, but also just create ventilation if you do get hot. It has a grid fleece interior, which again helps trap body heat against your body, and it's super soft and quiet. Everything slips in and out of it. Adjustable cuffs on here, extra durable bits on your elbows, your knee pads, same on the pants as well. So just an incredibly durable, versatile, wind and water resistant shell that's easy to slip on anything. So I can put this on over my Alpha Vertex, over everything else if I want to. It has a removable hood, so whether you want the hood or you don't, sometimes you get too many hoods going on. So this one you can turn it off, which is super nice in my opinion. I hate when I have 3 hoods. It's too much. But it definitely comes in handy when you need it. Now if it gets really cold, that's when I'll start throwing on some actual insulation. So my go-to is our Ventus suit. And so this is the Ventus jacket here. And this is 133 grams of insulation in the chest and the back, and then 60 in the sleeves. So by doing zoned insulation, you're maximizing that warmth and heat retention in the area where you need it, which is your core. You don't really need a whole lot of insulation on your arms. Your arms aren't generating a lot of heat, but if you have too much bulk going on there, obviously that gets in the way, especially as you're drawing your bow, anything like that. So by doing zoning in the insulation, we do this in the tops, we do this in the bottoms as well, putting that heat where you need it, but keeping it thin and not bulky where you don't. And this is a brushed fleece exterior, has the same grid fleece interior that you saw on the Waypoint. But the sleeves, again, when you're talking layers, you don't have the fuzzy stuff on the sleeves. And the reason there is it makes it so much easier to get those other layers in. I can put this Alpha Vertex sleeve right inside this Ventus, and it doesn't get stuck, it doesn't get bunched up, it layers incredibly easy. So sometimes it's those really small things that you don't even see that make a huge difference in being able to have different layers and put them on and use them together comfortably. And this Ventus jacket, yes, it is insulated, but this jacket weighs less than this one.
Wow.
It does. It looks bigger, but it weighs less than the Waypoint jacket. It is actually incredibly lightweight for being an insulated piece, but you can pack it down really well. This uses Primaloft silver insulation, so incredibly efficient at trapping heat, but also can compact down a lot. It doesn't weigh much. It's so lightweight. It's fantastic. The hood on this too, again, as a bow hunter, the hood on this jacket, you kind of have the little scuba effect going on here with the front. So it stays real trim around your face. You don't get the blinder effect going on. There's nothing in the way when you're drawing. Doesn't get in the way of your release, anything like that. So a lot of key points on here that were tailored specific to bow hunting. It's super soft, super quiet, tapered sleeves, zoned insulation, shaped hood, all these little thoughts and features went into it.
Yeah.
And safety harness pass through, of course. Got to be safe when
Yeah,
we're up
like
in
that.
tree. So
Yeah, absolutely. That's a key.
Waypoint's got that as well. So those are some key features there. Now, for when you're talking where you're at, where you're getting real cold, you might go
Yeah.
one step up from that, and that is our high point suit, which I don't have here in Southwest Missouri. I don't necessarily need it where I'm at, but the temperatures that you have up there in Ontario, it gets really cold. So our high point suit is actually a high loft Berber fleece on the exterior, which again, gotta think that trapping air. But it also keeps it incredibly quiet when you're moving. And that insulation, I think, is closer to 300 on that. Like
Wow.
it is, it is a
Yeah,
pretty, it's a
that's
lot of
cooking.
insulation in there, so it is going to be heavier from the weight standpoint. But again, that's not something you're walking anywhere in that. You're carrying that in and you're putting it on when you get to the stand, which again is why it's important to have layers. So you have something else that you're walking in, whether you're just walking in with your Alpha Vertex or something like that. And then when you get to the stand and you get settled and you feel your body temperature start going down, that's when you put on that waypoint suit. But I mean, it is so quiet and it is so dang warm. It is insane how warm that suit is. But also too, it all of these that I've shown you have DWR treatment on them, which means that any kind of rain, moisture, anything like that will beat off and go through. It doesn't soak into the outside of the fabric, which obviously is huge for reducing weight and just keeping you dry. But both the Ventus and the High Point also have our Pnuma block technology, which makes them completely windproof, which is huge when you're talking about being out there in the cold, because I can sit in really cold temperatures if it's not windy. If that wind hits me, any exposed piece of me, oh, I freeze. I absolutely freeze, and it's
Oh yeah.
and that just makes you curl up in that little ball even more, and you get tight again because it's that wind can be brutal.
Oh
So
yeah. It just
yeah,
shut
the
down.
vintage suit and the high point suit and even our torrent suit, they are all completely windproof, which is just absolutely huge by having that wind technology in there. So you've got the zoned insulation, you have windproofing, you have the water repellency on the outside. They're all treated with the Polygene odor control on them as well. So you put that all together, and these were really designed specifically for cold weather, sitting in it for long periods of time, like you're talking about there, just waiting for a whitetail to show
Yeah.
up. You're not going to be walking around in these suits. You're going to get too warm.
No, no, you're hunkering down and you're in
Yeah.
it for the long haul. Yeah.
Exactly, but they are so. I've fallen asleep in the tree in my vintage suit. It's like wearing the first time you put it on. My initial thought when I put it on for the first time, I was like, "This is like an old school Coleman sleeping bag. Like you just feel
Yeah.
so comfortable."
Just
Um,
sleep in the tree. I've
yeah,
done that a couple times.
I've done that. I've done that. Yeah, you
Yeah.
have those long day sits, and all of a sudden the sun comes out a little bit.
Oh my gosh.
I'm
Yeah.
out.
Just like that's nice. I'm gonna take a little nap.
It is the
Okay.
best nap ever. Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, and then
So
a squirrel runs by, and then you freak out, and then you're
yeah.
like, oh, what the hell? Oh, it's just a squirrel.
Squirrel. Always. It's always a
Yeah.
squirrel. So over
Yeah.
down here we get armadillos, and they make so much noise because
Oh,
they
really?
rustle through the leaves. Oh yeah, we have armadillos down here, and they come out and they rustle through the leaves because they're looking for grubs and stuff. So I mean, they'll take all day. They'll take all day going through one little area, and there's just this constant rustle, and you're like, can you please move on? They are
Yeah.
so
Just go move.
right. There they
Oh
don't. They
my.
just take their sweet time. So yeah,
Yeah.
funny critters.
Armadillos, eh? I don't think I've ever seen an armadillo, to be
I don't think
honest.
you've got them up there, but we get them down here
No.
a
No.
little bit. They're funny critters. You can you can walk right up to them because they're
Yeah.
practically blind and deaf and slow, and it's just like you can walk right up on them and be like, "What are you doing?" And they freak out and run away, and then they start going again. So they're fun to
Oh
play
my gosh. Wow. Oh my God. That's so funny. Well, I'm excited to, yeah, to like basically start like picking the system out. And I like the fact that, if I'm going for a dark to dark sit, I can throw on, have that blanket.
with.
What is it, like the high point, I think it's called. Yeah, the high point. Um, recently, so I have a daughter. She's just about to turn a year old. So recently, like last year, my sits were anywhere from like I don't know, 3 hours, 6 hours, like would be
Right.
the max. So it's nice to know that I don't have to necessarily bring like the high point for weight purposes. Like I can just bomb out there because I can sit there and get away with quite a bit
Hmm.
just with like enduring like some cold weather
Yeah.
and just like kind of sucking it up. But sorry there. But yeah, so it's nice to know that I have a good layering system. I could throw on the heat core,
Oh
and
yeah.
then if I'm like, okay, I gotta, this is the day I'm gonna do a long sit. It could be really cold in the morning throughout the whole day. Then I can have that option to put the high point on and just be warm,
Yeah, yeah,
which is
and you'll be
nice.
ready. Yeah, and we've got the accessories that go along with it for both the High Point and Ventus. We've got the beanies that have the windproofing in them as well. High Point, we've got the full high fleece net gaiter on there. We've got gloves, we've got a hand warmer, we've got
Hmm.
pop top mitts. It just kind of depends on what it is that you're doing. You know, the pop top nips are great if you need to have your fingers accessible. Obviously, I use a wrist release with my bow, so I typically don't wear gloves at all. But having a hand warmer, so we have the High Point has a
Mm,
hand warmer, but also we have a heated core hand warmer. And if you have not tried that,
really?
oh baby, so yeah, you
Oh
want
my
a
gosh.
hand warmer? It's a heated hand warmer, same battery, so you can swap the batteries between the base layers and the hand warmer. They're all compatible. They're all the same. But yeah, you can just have your wrist release on, and you just stick your hands in that hand warmer, and you're just cozy and happy as can be. And then you're just boom, ready to go. And you don't have to wear
Because
gloves, so
that,
your
yeah.
fingers don't get cold. Amazing.
Oh, that's one thing I don't like to wear is gloves.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a carbon bow, the PSE carbon bow, and that's nice. That's not as cold. But when it's sitting there for a long time,
It gets cold.
anything's cold. If your hands are cold, like that's and they don't move the same. It's not a good situation. But yeah, I wear sometimes like light gloves, but if I don't have to, then that would be ideal. And oh, I didn't know about the hand warmers.
Oh yeah,
That's clutch.
yeah.
Ooh, do you guys think you're ever gonna do like foot warmers as well?
So
'Cause
we've
that's
talked
something.
about it. We've
Yeah.
talked about it. So there's heated insoles out there. There's heated socks, which
Mhm.
I've had both, and I'll tell you if you're gonna go one way or the other, go with the heated socks. I was not impressed with the heated insoles. Because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just on the bottom of your feet and the way they cut to fit, like you don't have the heating element where you want. I don't know about you, but it's always like the tops of my toes that get cold. So I would put like
Yes.
toasty toes like on the top of my sock
Yeah.
in my boot and like
I've done that.
burn my
Yeah.
toes apart. Heated
Oh
socks.
yeah.
But really, it would come down to, we've talked about it and we look at it from a development standpoint. We don't know if we're going to do that or not. But obviously, by having the full length heated pants, is okay. If you have a sock, do you have to have smaller individual battery packs on those socks? Can you make them so they integrate with the
Hmm.
pants somehow? So there's a lot of things that you kind of have to consider when we talk about how are you powering those pieces. Like I said, we like that
Yeah.
our base layers and our hand warmer all use the same battery, so they are interchangeable. Makes it nice that way. So, what would be the most efficient way to do that for, doing additional heated wear? So, we're looking into it. I don't have an answer for you right now, but I will say again, I love heated socks. I love them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna have to get a pair because like it's brutal. Like I don't know. So my buddy and I, we have these big boots, like thick rubber boots that are super insulated, which is what you need. It's like you go out there and you're bulking up, and then it's like just to have an option because they're not breathable at all.
No.
And it's like so you'll most likely your feet will sweat and they'll get colder. So most of the time you change up your pair of socks and all that. That's fine. But it's like to have something that you could just maybe lighten up on your boots and then have a warmer sock that could use flick on the heat. That'd be pretty cool too
Yeah.
to have like that's an option.
Yeah, I definitely do that. And again, I don't always turn them on. I don't need to turn them on. And again,
Hmm.
I don't have to turn them on until I'm up there and I'm getting cold. So it's not something that was my problem. I had the insoles before, and they always say like, "Oh, it's got a remote that you can turn it on." And I'll tell you, I could not get the remote to turn them on and off like once they were in my boot. If the insole's just
Yeah.
sitting there, it would work. As soon as it was in my boot, it's like it would not go through. And I don't know, maybe it was just the boots I had, but that was a pain. So it's like, well, if you want to turn the insoles on, heated insoles on, you had to like turn them on, stick them in your boot, and then you were stuck with it unless you wanted to take your boots off later. Like it was a pain. At least the socks you can access kind of up on your
Yeah.
around your knees, kind of where they put that on most of them. But yeah, I think having like once my feet get cold, that's when I start struggling. Like the rest of me, I can
Hmm.
find ways and move around, but like once my feet start getting cold, it's bad. So yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
upgrading to the heated socks instead of shoving like 2 packs of Toasty Toes in my boots every day and not being able to stand because then they burn, you know. Like,
yeah, it's
they're
not a good
effective, but
time.
not the best. No, I used to take those too. You know, they're adhesive. Those ones instead of like the hot hands, but like the Toasty Toes are adhesive. So before
Yeah,
I had the heated base layers, I would take those and like slap them on my kidneys. Like,
yeah,
they're fine while you're hunched forward, and then all of a sudden you lean back on the tree and you're like, oh god,
oh yeah, there it is. Yeah,
you don't
that's hot.
appreciate it. Yeah, yeah. So I'm like, I can't keep doing this. So I upgraded to heated gear, and it makes my life so much better. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's good.
I'm looking forward to it, testing it out, see how that works. And I might like I feel like I'm gonna forget about it because I haven't used it. And I feel like when I do, I'm gonna remember to throw that on. And after like hour four, if you're like just I don't know, cold front comes in, you're shivering. I honestly, it's like the times where the sun comes up, but then you have that first sip of coffee and you're like, ooh, okay, warmth is going inside my body. I
Yes.
got this. I feel good. I feel like that's gonna be the same thing. It's just gonna be this like new life that
Yeah.
just is gonna come.
Yeah,
So
I do that too. I'll take like a thermos of something warm to drink, and it's always that battle. It's the same battle with that as when you turn on the heated stuff. Like I want to last as long as I can before I turn
yeah,
it off. One, I'm just like I need to be tough. I need to endure. But I was like, well, I don't know
yeah,
how long I'm gonna be here, and you know. When it comes to like, oh, I really want to drink something warm, but then I know as soon as I do, I'm just going to want to keep drinking more and more and more, and then I'm going to run out. Or the less that's in there, the longer it stays hot. So it's like you just take like these little 10 sips and just like
yeah,
try to make it last. And then by the time I'm done, I have half a thermos that I never drank. I'm like, well, that was dumb.
yeah. That was pointless. The
Right?
heck, oh,
Do it every
so
time.
true. Every time. But and another thing that I find too, like sometimes you think you're gonna go for a couple hours and you're cold, and then all of a sudden like something happens, like I don't know, a buck runs through or a deer, whatever the case is,
Yeah.
and then you're just like, oh, I want to stay another hour, another 2 hours, but then you're cold and then you're battling that too. So there's some pros to that heated core just to like give you
Hmm.
that new life to be like, okay, like fresh
I
start,
can
I can go
last
another
a
little
lot.
bit.
Yeah, it can last a little
Yeah.
longer. I can go a little longer. Yeah. For me, there's always that battle of I prefer hunting in the morning. Like I just love getting out first thing in the morning and being there and waiting to see. But then
Hmm.
there's always that when do you call it? When do you call it a day? When do you get down?
Yeah.
It's always that, okay, well, I'm going to give it till, 11 o'clock or I'm going to give it till noon or, whatever. You kind of set that time and you're like, well, maybe just like 15 more minutes. Maybe just, and you start second guessing yourself and it's so hard. Whereas, like, obviously, if you're hunting at night, you get to that point, and it's like, all right, like, time's done. Like, you're it. That's it. You're done. So there's something
Yeah.
nice about that, about knowing, like, I'm going to be done at this time. But man, I hate tracking deer at night. Like, I just don't want to do it. I just
Oh my, yeah.
don't do
Most
it.
of the time, like I find that happens here in Ontario. Like that's when a lot of people like see photos or whatever. It's like right at night. It's like within
Yeah.
that last hour of shooting.
Yeah.
That's when people are shooting bucks up here or deer,
Mhm.
does, whatever.
Hmm.
But
I hate doing it. I'm tired. I want to go. I am not a night owl. I'm like in bed by 9 every day. Like I am not a
oh
night owl.
yeah,
I am a morning person, whether I'm hunting or I'm getting up and running, whatever. Like I will get up at the crack of dawn. I love it. I'm fine with that. But I do not stay up late. I do not want to be wandering around the woods with a flashlight looking for blood. Like I'll do it, but I don't want to. So
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I don't know if it's just something that I'm used to from like just being raised with like hunting in Ontario, and that's just something that's. It seems like that's just when like the golden hour, the golden ticket. It's like stick it out, last hour. That's when stuff comes in. Most of the time it does, and then you're like, okay, and like you said, now I'm just gonna go get the flashlights and start tracking, and it's yeah, it's not great because you have this flashlight and you're trying to find blood or you're trying to just find something, and everything looks different too when
yeah.
it's dark out. So it's not a
And
good
I
time.
mean, half the time you'll be tracking some blood, and the deer's right there, but you're like the flashlight's right here. You don't
Yeah,
have that peripheral. You have to like stop every like okay, stop, look around. It's like okay, now back to it. Like otherwise you could be right there. You could be walking right past it, and you wouldn't know because you're just so focused on like
yeah.
yeah. Drives me crazy.
Oh my
I swear I
gosh.
walked up on deer like that before, even during the day when I'm tracking. I'm just like I'm so intent on like the blood trail, and then all of a sudden I look up and it's right there. It's like I could have seen that from 50 yards away and
Yeah,
saved myself 20 minutes, but like you just have tunnel vision. It's like, dang
Oh,
it.
it's brutal. When
Yeah.
does the season start for you guys in
September
Missouri?
15th. September 15th.
Whoa, okay.
It's
Early,
coming.
yeah.
It's coming. It's usually
Yeah.
too hot here to really start doing much until beginning of October.
Hmm.
But never know. We have kind of a cooler week this week. And I'm loving
Yeah.
it in the temps. So I'm hoping if it stays like that, then it'll actually be huntable here in the back half of September when we get there. But you never know. I mean, you just
Yeah.
never know what the weather's gonna do here. But yeah, it's coming. It's coming soon. So I had my bow out last night and getting that dialed back in, and
Yeah.
a dozen mosquito bites doing it. But it's
You gotta go, yeah.
pain.
Enduring the pain, yeah. Go through the struggles and oh
Yeah.
man. Yeah, I guess the bugs are still pretty bad. But luckily here, it's been not like such a hot summer here in Ontario. Like it's bizarre. Like it's like really weird and super dry. And I think that's killed off all the bugs. And then now this whole week has been like it's almost like the mid-September weather that we're having this week, which I like. Same thing. I love that cooler weather. It's nice. It was what was it last week? I think it was 3 degrees Celsius. I don't know what the conversion is, but it's 3 degrees. There's frost in August. I was like, oh, this is cold.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was nice though. I liked it.
Yeah, it's been brutal here, but honestly, like I'm crazy. People call me crazy. I like the heat. I like the summer. I'm a summer girl through and through. But again, I like being up early in the morning. So for me, summertime is like I just get to start my day that much earlier, and it's
Yeah,
already 70, 75 degrees outside. So I can go straight outside and go for a run at 5 o'clock in the morning, and that makes me happy.
yeah,
It's
yeah. I see you. You're grinding. You're hustling. Eh? Like
yeah.
I always see you running and stuff. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been like that. I've always been real active. I don't sit still well. I've always got to have something that I'm doing. But yeah, before I got into hunting, it was all running. Like that's just what I did, and how I got outside. And it definitely fall becomes interesting for me now that I'm so involved in hunting. It's like, okay, well, if I have that battle of how long am I going to sit in a tree, but the weather's
Hmm.
really nice. I could run right now, but if I run, then I could miss a deer. And it's like trying to find that balance of keeping my running on track, but wanting to hunt and like trying to dole that out it gets pretty tough. But I yeah, it's a thing. But yeah, I run quite a
Oh,
bit, and
absolutely.
then I hit up the gym just about every day on my lunch break to break up the day. Cause again, I work from home, so if I sat at home all day, I'd go stir crazy. So I
Yeah.
typically drive to the gym on my lunch break, get a nice lift in, and then I come back, breaks up the day. I don't have to be there when all the crazy high school kids are out of school in the evening, so it's nice and
Hmm.
chill in the middle of the day. So that's how I keep myself from going stir crazy at home all day long.
Oh yeah, I'm the same way. I hate just sitting still.
Hmm.
Um, like I can do it obviously, and it's like when you're hunting, I could do it all day. Cause I guess
Yeah.
because you're looking for stuff, but even still, you're kind of like if I'm in a tree stand, I'm like, I gotta stand up, gotta move around every so often, and that's like like that's a mental battle. But when I'm home, if I'm sitting down, it's like I feel like I'm just wasting. I gotta like do something, go outside, even just like walking around or something.
Yeah.
It's just get out. Yeah,
Yeah,
same
I
way.
always gotta do something. If I do have an evening where like it's just me and I'm just sitting on the couch, I'm like, oh, this is nice, this is relaxing, and then I'm like, I just start going through all the list in my head of all the things that I should be doing or could be doing, or like still need to be
Yeah,
done. I'm like, I don't have time to sit, so
yeah.
it's
You go time. Oh, people like I have conversations with my friends like, oh, did you see this movie or have you seen this show and have you done this? I'm like, man, no,
yeah,
I don't.
I
Like I
don't.
don't have the time. I don't, or I don't want to do it in a way. Not even if I had the time, it's just I don't really care for it. So yeah. So what kind of bow do you shoot?
So that is my beautiful Hoyt Eclipse. I love it.
Ooh,
It's
nice.
it is very nice. It makes me happy. I got that
Yeah.
2 years ago now. Bought that for myself for my birthday. So yeah, I love it because I'm small. I'm 5'4", and most of the time I'm in a saddle. So having something that is kind of compact, a little bit on the shorter side, makes it a little bit easier for me to maneuver and get around.
Hmm.
And it's so smooth, and the let off is great on that I can I mean, I can fling arrows all day long at, 54, 55
Yeah.
pounds is what I've got it at. Like, it's, yeah, it's been really fun, and I've played around with different things on it, and I just put a different rest on it, and so I was sighting it in again last night because I just swapped out the rest, and
Nice.
it's been fun. I I didn't get into hunting until about 5 years ago, and so getting,
Wow.
I went straight into bow hunting, and then after my first season of sitting in stands, I went straight into saddle hunting. So I don't know why.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just that I'm always on the move. So for me, being able to take a small setup, because again, small, I got to carry this stuff in and set it up by myself. The whole saddle hunting community is really fun in that, and all these different things that are coming out. But it's given me the opportunity to go to different places, whether I'm going on to different publics or I'm traveling to different states to hunt with different people, because I do that quite a bit too. Again, it's just all this learning experience for me, and being able to go out and hunt with other people. So having a small setup that I can take anywhere and put on pretty much any tree and get into something has allowed me to go a lot of different places where, if you've got ladder stand set up on your property and this is your stand and this is your tree, and you just walk out and you hunt that every time, like, that's great, that's super convenient, but it's the same thing every time.
You're limiting yourself too as a hunter. You're not learning.
Yeah, you're just waiting for something to come up, or you're putting feed out or a food plot or something like that. So to me it's so much more fun going to different places, getting a feel for the terrain, looking for the sign, trying to get an idea of how the deer are going to move through and where they're feeding, where they're bedding, what's the wind going to do in this situation. And it's more of a, game of chess at that point. And even if you don't have a successful hunt, you still learn so much on those hunts and going in those different places and just seeing the movement or how things kind of change. And it makes it so much fun. I can spend 4 months in the woods, and maybe I only kill 2 deer in the season, but I see so much and I learn so much and I have so much fun doing it that it's not about, I went here and I hunted for 3 days and I bagged this deer, and then I went over here and I filled this tag. Like, it's not about that for me. I just like to be outside and learn and
explore, and
it's so much fun, and
it's so much fun.
It's so much fun. And I think for those people that, that just rifle hunt and they just go out and they sit in the blind over the food plot and they shoot their deer and they're done for this season, like, that's great. And that's, that's what you want to do, and you're providing for your family, or it's family tradition and that's what you want to do, that's fine. I couldn't do it. Like, I'd be so, like, what do I do? Now it's done. It's over. Like, there's some times where you're out there and you're like, I don't want it to be done. I don't want it to be done.
I know.
Like, do I really want to feel this?
It's such a fact.
I can't hunt for, like, like, you don't want it to be
done. It's like a bittersweet moment. And my buddy had that last year when he shot his first deer. Because he's like, he shot this deer, and then he goes, so damn, but now it's done. I want to keep going, and I want to keep going out there and hunting. But he was also happy that he finally got some meat and stuff, his first hunt. But yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that whole, like, the whole baiting thing and stuff, because that's basically how, like, what I grew up on is just like, you go out, throw bait down, bait and wait, and it was just fine and all this stuff. But then you're limiting yourself, and then it's the same thing, and it's over and over again. You're like, okay, but you're not learning about the deer. So, like, that's been kind of my transition over the last couple of years, or few years, is just trying to learn where the deer go instead of just trying to bring the deer to you. And same with saddle hunting too. That I haven't yet got a saddle. I really want to, and for that purpose, like, exactly, it's like lightweight. If I want to hunt in this area because I have a good feel and I've seen some, like, fresh new sign, it's so much easier to just like grab your saddle, go up onto a tree, you don't even have to go super high, but you can go like 8 feet or whatever, and then just post up and then just monitor the day, see how that goes. If that's not the case, so I got to get into saddle hunting. It might be, I don't know about this year, but probably next year I'll get a saddle and mess around with that.
Yeah, it's cool. Fun. It wasn't something that honestly I thought I was going to get into or really like as much as I did, because it seemed, especially as someone that was new to hunting, like, it seemed really intimidating. I'm like, wait, so how do I climb the tree? And I got to put this on, and then where does this go? And I don't fall out. What do you mean I'm not going to fall out of the tree? I'm standing on something this big, like, it was intimidating, but I needed a way for me to be mobile.
Hmm.
So I got a setup and I gave it a try and just like, oh, okay, I get this. Like this makes sense. I figured this out. And then the more you do it, the more comfortable you get, the faster you get with doing your setup and how it goes. And you can get, what I really like about saddle hunting is you can get in some really weird trees. That could be a lot fun
Yeah.
for some other setups or hang-ons, things like that. Like, and you
Yeah.
can get some really small trees, which is fun.
Right.
When your platform is that big and it's only got to be around a tree this big. It's like I can post
All
up
right.
just anywhere, and yeah, maybe
Yeah.
6 to 8 feet off the ground if I'm in somewhere that's really thick cover, like a cedar thicket or something like that, where you get up too high and you don't have any shots. Like you've got to be low.
Hmm.
Yeah, it gives you that little bit of versatility that bigger setups
Absolutely.
can't get. So
That's
it's
so,
kind of
yeah.
fun.
And so what made you get into hunting? Like what? You said you just been, like it's been about 5 years, you said?
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
didn't grow up hunting. No one in my family hunts. It wasn't something that I grew up with at all. I moved to the Midwest. I moved out here to Missouri in 2020 during COVID, and all of a sudden that was just a huge thing in this area. And I'd always kind of been interested in it, but never had the opportunity really. So now all of a sudden I was surrounded by a bunch of people that hunted, and it was such a big thing in the community. And then
Hmm.
when I got the job at the Bass Pro corporate office, I didn't know a damn thing about hunting or camo. I thought I'd always been outdoorsy, so I was like, well, this is cool. It's a cool place, an opportunity. Like we'll see what happens. And then being a part of the hunting group there was like, oh, I gotta learn how to do this so I know what the heck I'm talking about. And so people were like, hey, try this bow and try this and get one of these and go here and pay attention to the wind and do this. And I'm like, what? What do you mean pay attention to the wind? Like, what is that? What do you mean? Like,
Yeah.
what? It just, and, but having all those people there on a daily basis tell me stuff and, talk about things and show me things like, oh, okay, it started to click and make sense. And I'm always kind of a loner as it is, and that's why I like to go out and do trail runs by myself to get outside away from people. So it's like, oh well, I get to be in the woods away from people. This sounds fantastic. Like sign me up. Like let's go. So I just kind of started getting into it and doing it, and found out that I really liked it. And then the more I was out there, and when you're out there in a situation, the more you see, you're like, this would have been better if I had X, Y, Z. Or if I had been over here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what
Yep.
they mean by playing the wind. They like, like you start learning those things and picking it up, and you adjust your technique, your skill, your setup, your gear, whatever, so you can start being more effective. And then, you just continue to learn. And I don't know, I think it was just something that it fit into, some other key core parts of me about being outside and kind of being alone and being in nature. And it gave me a reason to be out there more. You can only run so many
Right.
times a day, you can
Yeah.
only exhaust. So it's like, oh, I get to just sit out here all day. This is fantastic. And
Yeah.
as a mom too, like again, like, oh, I just get to sit out here in the peace and quiet, and I don't have to do laundry or dishes or feed anybody. This is amazing. Best pastime ever.
Sign me up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great. So I have one kid. I have a boy. He's 10, and I've taken him out hunting with me a couple times, and he enjoys it. But he's kind of at that age where he's interested and he wants to do it, but he
Hmm.
has no patience. So it's
Right.
like trying to find that balance of how do I keep him interested and engaged, but not bored and making me want to strangle him. So
Yeah.
trying to find that balance of what I do with him. But he is very interested in it and likes to be involved and see everything. And he tells me that all I do though is work out, nap, and hunt. That's apparently the summation
Yep.
of me as a mother. I'm like, well, it could be worse, so I'll take it.
Yeah. It's not a bad thing. I mean, it's good habits, provider, it's just sustaining. So I mean,
Right?
that's not
Right?
that's not bad.
Your
Bad
mom's
traits
cool,
right there.
right? He's like, yeah, I guess. I'm like, all right, cool, thanks, kid.
Okay.
Uh, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's definitely obviously now with it being my, my career and what I do on a daily basis and everybody that I get to interact with and meet,
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy to me, honestly, like how quickly hunting became not just a casual pastime, but like completely enveloped my life. Um,
Yeah.
but
Oh,
I
it's a
guess
cool
I guess there's
story.
something that was just kind of like always missing, like that kind of piece of the puzzle that I just didn't have. And then once I found, it was like, oh, this all makes sense now. This is that missing piece that I didn't have, and now I have
Yeah.
something to go do. So yeah, it's kind of crazy, but it's been fun.
Yeah, no, it sounds like you have a cool journey, and now, yeah, now working with Numa and hunting all the time, and
Yeah.
it's so. Oh, so you were saying, like earlier, I caught it where, like, how many deer are you guys allowed to hunt in Missouri, like in a
So
season?
Missouri's a $2 state, so you can get
Okay,
$2 in Missouri each season, and then as far as does go, you can buy pretty much as many doe tags as you want. So
oh man, that is
really, if you
awesome.
want to
That
fill up the freezer, like
Yeah.
you can do that.
Oh man, yeah, we're that is not the case here in Ontario. It's like like in Northern Ontario, Southern Ontario, you can get different tags if it's like more of a controlled hunt and stuff. You can get more doe tags, but that's like yeah, like 4 hours away from me, and you have to have like permission and all this stuff. But for someone who's like hunting public or your own, like if you have some land up here, you got one deer tag, whether that
Just
be
one.
a
Just
doe tag or a buck tag. It's like that's one and done, and yeah,
oh
so use
man,
it wisely. Yeah, like
that's
we have bear and moose as well, but you don't really get moose tags because it's a whole big lottery system, and
mhm.
you have to go way far up north, like 8, 10 hours, just to maybe even get one every couple of years, few years. So yeah, it's a little bit different up here, but I would love to. I mean, I don't know why we don't, because there is a lot of deer around here, but there's a lot of people that I guess hunt. So but there's a lot
Yeah.
of people that hunt in Missouri too, I bet.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big hunting state. Yeah, where
Yeah.
I'm out down here in the southwest portion of Missouri. When people think of Missouri as far as like big deer in Missouri, they think of the northern 2/3 of Missouri, where it's flat farmland, corn. You're basically Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa. Like it's all kind of one giant blob of cornfield up there. That's not how it is down here where I'm at. Where I'm at, I'm just kind of on the northern end of the Ozark Mountain Range that kind of comes through Missouri into Arkansas and some of those states through there. So we have the Mark Twain National Forest, which is huge. It's a huge national forest that we have through here, and it's all public land. So we have an abundance of public land that you can go and hunt on, which is fantastic. It's a wonderful resource, but it is not easy to hunt. It is
Yeah.
completely hardwoods, and it is steep, and you've got some crazy terrain. It's gorgeous, but it's not easy to hunt. And the bucks that we have here, they're not going to get as big as corn-fed farm, bucks that you've
Yeah.
got on the northern side of town. They've got to work. They've got to work for a living down here. All right, so they're scrappy. They're not going to be as big, but man, they are smart too. Like how they
Yeah.
play the terrain and the wind and everything else. You know, I've heard a lot of people around here that they've been hunting this public down here, and they get excited when they see a deer. It's like, yeah,
Right.
it's not a deer, but like it's just such a different mentality of having to go out and scout and find a spot and then hope a deer comes by, and you're not going to be too picky about what it is compared
Hmm.
to sitting in a blind over a cornfield and you've got 20 deer in a herd out there and you're waiting for the big one to show up right at sunset. It's just completely different mentality.
Yeah.
But it's fun. I love being out in the hardwoods because you just see so much stuff. It's
Oh, there's so
so
many. There's always something. Like it's so funny when so you're like the far and few deer that you would see. It's the same thing here. It's like you don't really see like they're there, but it's not like a whole whack load of deer. But I see more moose than anything. Like every time I'm out, I can see three, four, five moose like just kicking around, two like big bulls and everything. And it's just like they'll be 15 feet from me, and it's like if only. I have one like a tank. Like what the
right.
hell? And it's like it is that ekes a little bit, but we have a lot of wolf. Like recently, In the last couple of years, I've noticed so many wolves kicking around my area, and I can hear them howl. I have a whole whack of them on the trail cam and stuff, so maybe that's what's impacting the deer movement too. But
Yeah.
yeah, so it's the same thing. Well, yeah, when you see a deer, you're not like extremely picky, but it's like, okay, is it a good size? Is it decent? Perfect, but you got to really like know where you're going to because they're so skittish. It's like 150 yards. You can maybe move your arm an inch and they'll just be like, "What is that?" Boom, and see ya. Like they're so skittish here. I don't get it, but they're hard to hunt.
That's tough. That is tough. I
Yeah.
feel like there have been times where I've, you know, I could have dropped things on deer underneath me, and
Oh my
they just
God.
come right under my stand. I mean, it's usually like the does and yearlings and stuff. And you'll just get a whole line of them coming through, and they're just like hanging out. Like, um, obviously I wasn't hunting, but this past weekend I was just out paddleboarding, and I was on the river, and there's kids playing in the river, and I'm
Yeah.
on my paddleboard, and all of a sudden here comes this little yearling doe, and I see
Yeah.
her. She just decides to swim across the river in front of me and come to the opposite bank, and I just kind of paddle over, and I'm just like, she just kind of looks at me
Yeah.
and goes back to doing her thing. I like talk and wave, and she's just not a care in the world. Some of them, they get so used to people in certain areas, but a lot of those are areas that you can't hunt, so you get those basically domestic urban deer that
Yeah.
aren't
Yeah.
bothered by people at all, and then you get, people think you got to go way out into public to get away from deer. Well, that's why they're going to be trickier. They're not used to you when you stand out like
They're
a
not
sore
used to.
thumb.
Yeah.
Like, why don't you just be right up close by the parking lot? They're probably more used to people right there, and they're not gonna take off as much. So sometimes I think you get the wrong misconception about deer. It's like they're, just like anything, they're nervous about things they don't understand or don't know. If they're more familiar, they tend to not be as skittish. So yeah,
Yeah.
different ways to play it for sure. We've got
Oh
deer
yeah.
property that I hunt that these does live on this property year round. The bucks tend to kind of wander through because it's not a huge parcel. So I get different bucks that come through every fall, especially on a rut. I'll see bucks that I've never seen on camera before, and then I'll never see them again. But I get the same does and fawns, and the little yearling bucks and the goofy looking dudes, and I see them all the time, and they come through, and I'll see the same ones when I'm out there hunting. You know, 5, 6, 7, 8 times a season, same ones walking through. I'm like, oh, there they go. There he is.
There they go. Yeah.
And they're either completely oblivious to me being there, or they're just so used to, you know, the environment around there that they're not so thrown off because there's other houses, there's people building, so like they're walking through
Yeah.
the woods.
It's like
It's
they
not,
feel
it's
safe.
not way out there,
They,
but they're more used to hearing things. They hear cars driving by, they hear car doors closing. They don't run off and
yeah.
scatter. So it gives you a little bit. They're a little jaded, so it gives you a little bit extra leeway to not feel like you're completely out of place in their environment. They just don't happen to know
Yeah.
you're there that day. So it's
Yeah.
it works out
Oh,
sometimes.
well, my buddy lives an hour south of me, and I think that there's a community out there where he lives, and it's just like the deer are so urbanized, like you said. Like there's still like there's bush and timber around, but during the hunting season, it's so frustrating because we'll hunt up here. Like, you can't hunt on it like around
Right.
in that because it's kind of too close to the city.
Hmm.
But yeah, so like he'll go in his backyard and he'll be taking out the trash, and then all of a sudden there's a deer like 15 yards away, like decent sized buck or some does, and they're just hanging. Like, oh, what's this? Oh, you taking out your trash today? Okay, cool, cool. And they'll keep chilling, and then you come back here, and it's just like yeah, like I said, 150
Yeah.
yards, or you make one little movement, and they are just like so alert, gone. See you later. So it's
So
funny how sometimes they get just used to people. It's different, but it's all part of the fun,
yep.
you know. Yeah,
That's why we love it. It's
but
always something
that's
different.
why we love it.
If it was easy, we
That's
wouldn't
right.
want to do it. We'd get bored. So
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's
yeah.
exactly it. Well, why don't we end on that note and let's wrap this baby up. And I'm excited to basically I think either today or tomorrow I'm gonna get my hands on those heated cores. I have yet to buy those, so I'm gonna probably get the heat core stuff in line and then yeah start piecing together. So, but yeah, I appreciate you coming on and taking the time to explain to everybody the different pieces that you can get from Numa. And yeah, I'm excited to hear about your hunting season too.
Yeah, I'm excited to get out there, and I mean, I love talking gear. I geek out about it, and not just as my job, but just as me as a person. It's fun, and I think having the right apparel is the absolute key to having a successful hunt or not. You can have
Yeah,
whatever platform, stand, blinds, bow, rifle, whatever. You can have whatever gear you want. You can kill something with just about anything. But
yeah,
if you're shivering or you can't pull your bow back because you're too cold or your muscles are tight or you're uncomfortable and you walk out early before they get there, that's all your apparel. Like, you
yeah.
got to have the
You're
right clothes. So
you gotta have the right gear. Yeah,
yeah,
100%. I could not agree more. And yeah, I'm excited to see how like the future of Numa, and I mean I'm just excited to be on board and be a part of the team to try to help out. And
yeah,
yeah,
we've got
let's
some
go.
exciting things in the work. 2026 is we got some new stuff coming for next year, so it's pretty exciting. We got it
Ooh,
keeps
I
me busy.
can't
It
wait.
keeps me real busy. So
Oh, I can't even imagine. I mean, like it's a pretty competitive market, but I mean, there's just so many ways and areas I feel like you could just improve. Try this little thing, try that. Like just the small features, like we were mentioning earlier about the tapered arms and good stuff for bow hunting, not ball. Like everything is just so well thought out,
yeah.
and I'm just yeah, I'm really impressed with the gear that Numa's got.
Well, good. I'm,
No,
I'm glad to have you on board. I love all my guys up there. You and Josh and Dave and CJ. I talk to you guys probably as much or more than I talk to all my guys down here in the States. It's just such a big group up there. And one of these days I got to make it up there so we can do something, because that'd be super fun to hang out with
yeah,
you.
I was gonna ask if you had any intentions or plans to come up to Ontario to swing a hunt or just to
Probably
check it
not
out.
this year because I just bought the house a couple months ago, and so I wasn't planning on doing any big hunts this year. But once I get settled, maybe I'll find a way to get up there maybe next season. So that would be super
Yeah,
fun.
sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan. Well, everybody, thank you for listening. Go check out Numa Outdoors and go get some new gear that would take advantage of that 40% off. So,
Don't wait, get it
yeah,
now.
don't wait, get it now. All right, bye everybody.
Bye, guys.